If I was to tell you what has been my management style, in fact, I have a very successful management style. It's called not managing at all. Yeah? And if you ask any of my team, that was my management style. How do you want to grow people? Do not appear. Do not appear at work. And then tell them, by the way, the client is coming. That meeting, you handle it. There, finished, my talk is over. That's how you build a team. That is all I have to say about building a team. And when I look back and say now Centonomy has 22 people, how did that happen? When I look at myself, I was like, I was the least likely person to be a person who said there was a team that was built. And I was looking at what Emmanuel was saying, and I was like, oh my God, fail, fail, fail on all the above points. So what am I going to actually say? I'm looking at what Mwenesi is saying. I think I'm not a millennial in age, but I can completely relate because I'm like, I think I'm that millennial. That's how I felt in the places that I worked. Before Centonomy, the only person, and one time I was given a person to lead/manage. Shortly, I was coaching that person on how to do interviews. I'm the one who helped them get another job right under me. So as I say, I'm not really the right person. They're like, Shaka, can you help me with this interview? I'm supposed to be managing, leading. I was like, sure. I coached him. We'd go to empty meeting rooms. I trained the person, and he got that job. Yeah. So for me, I think first I'll just use lessons from my journey because that's what I have. Just keep in mind, it is not typical. That's what I was saying. I'm not going to come and tell you these are HR practices. I was that person, even when we did Centonomy, I'd say, yeah, it's performance review. We should do it. Man, just what you are saying. Yeah, just what you are saying. Then we do it. 1 year we do it. And then 2 years later, nothing has been followed up. So if you have any questions on that side of things and the practicality, Waceke can come and talk after me to tell you all the amazing things he's doing, yeah? Including partnering with people like Mucha, to get our emotional intelligence. Imagine he hit the signal that was sent to me when they started doing emotionally intelligence is I left them so emotionally unintelligent and so confused emotionally about what we are about, how we are about, that let's just bring the doctors in. We do intense therapies and maybe we can salvage something. But I think it has been an absolute honor to just be a student in this journey and observe. So, Centonomy and my life journey. There are a couple of things, and I think in everybody's life, certain things stand out, yeah? When I was 10 years old, my parents had a birthday party. You know, when you're 10 years old, you think that party is your birthday party. Later, when you're like 13 and you're looking at the pictures, you're like, why is there one photo of me with a small cake and a few cousins and mob of your friends, yeah? How was this a birthday party exactly? But that time I thought it was a birthday party. And my dad gave me some money. He gave me about some money, and my uncles and aunties all gave me money. I was 10 years old and I got 950 shillings. You can imagine for a 10-year-old how much money that is. So that night, I dutifully gave my dad the money. He's allowed me to talk about it. It's even in the book now. I had to actually say, Dad, I've really mulikaed you here. Are you okay? Yeah? And told him to open a savings account. And I left it with him, complete trust. Come 18, I'm 18 years of age. I'm like, hand over the savings account. Please, ready. I'm ready for my account. For you to now hand over the keys to me. It's like, what account? I'm like, Dad, come on. Anyway, then I went through this, now I don't care. I'm not going to save, I'm not going to invest. But I think that is where some of the foundations were laid. When I was 7 years old, I disturbed my dad to buy me a blackboard. And I didn't understand why I wanted a blackboard, but I was really fascinated with, you go to school and there are these teachers writing stuff on the blackboard, and I really wanted a blackboard. So finally I got a blackboard. Now when I look back, I'm like, I'm a teacher. Maybe what was calling out to me was the teaching. When I went to university for a while in Australia. Yeah, for a while I dishwashed. But there are certain things that happened. I remember I bought a very little car. Do you know the Uber Chap-Chaps? Just think the 1980s version of an Uber Chap-Chap. Smaller, whatever. I got it, in fact, in a junkyard. They were about to demolish the car. Yeah? I bought it for the equivalent of 50,000 shillings because I needed to get from school to work and all that. People around me laughed at my car. And I couldn't understand why, yeah? And then they would see, because they've gone in as students, there was access to credit, they'd get all these cars and buy, Subarus, and they're on loans. And later I saw the struggle they went through. I think that observation led to something. Me, when I was leaving Australia, I sold my 18 version of an Uber chap for a profit. I sold it for about $80K, $800. I bought it for $500. Imagine, for a profit, and guys were still struggling. Then I entered the workforce, and I got into that, the things we've been talking about. You earn money, but on the 24th, it is gone. And where I worked at CFC before it became Stanbic. We'd even go out to a place where the ATM of CFC was nearby. So that on the 23rd, we can go have our drinks and everything, and then we go to the ATM. We never considered, should the ATM fail? Should the system fail us? What would happen? Meanwhile, what is my job? Let me tell you the difference between the realities of people's lives and their jobs. Yeah? My job was investment analyst. I was going to work every day to do nice spreadsheets and advise clients on what shares to buy. They would even take me out for lunch. I feel so good that I was taken out for lunch, and then I proceed to my normal behaviors. So one day, I guess I got a light bulb moment, and I was like, not that on money, I want to go into business, and I had all illusions of how business should work. So my first business was not even Centonomy. It was, let me help people buy and sell shares on the stock market. Then I went through another moment. There are just moments in your life that you've got to look at sometimes where I looked at an ATM and had 200 bob that I could not withdraw. Yeah, I actually wanted to withdraw. The ATM laughed at me and told me minimum withdrawal 500 shillings. Yeah, now people call it a come to Jesus moment. I think Jesus came to me. He was at the ATM with me, and I even went home and I told God, I think it's a wrap. Take me. I'm not going to commit suicide or anything of those sorts. Like, I don't want pain. Yeah, just zap me into heaven. Yeah, but clearly he didn't zap me into heaven. So why am I telling you that story? And then that was when the aha moments of Centonomy came. And if you can't buy the book, because my entire story is there, more than I have time for today. But that's when I look back and I connect the dots, there was nothing that was a mistake. From the experience I had in high school, from the experience of a child, when I was in university, the jobs I did, up to today. And I think the first thing when you're looking at teams, first of all, I'm talking to you as individuals, because you cannot empower what you're not empowered about. Just understand that, yeah? And I think all the speakers, everybody has mentioned that thing of purpose, yeah? People are not there for a job. People are not there for a career, yeah? People are there because everybody wants to be somebody. Yeah, and somebody is not a title. Yeah, the title is what we use in the world so that the world can work. But even when we talk about things, the title human resource management, think about it. Yeah, I know that's a title that is being used. We moved a bit closer. Sometimes we call ourselves talent. Yeah, but I think the only word that is right there is humans. Yeah, but humans neither want to be considered a resource, and neither do they want to be managed. Yeah, so a resource is a very narrow description of a human being. When you look at them is a resource. And when you look at them a resource, especially in big corporate, and any of you are big corporate, when we read, they looked at, we have 200 employees. Then they said 50, go, yeah? That you missed the human, and sometimes because we've done a lot of training where we're doing this, helping them transition, how they did it, removed the fact that people are human beings. So I think it's our job to understand that it's humans first. Yeah? Have we understood these people as humans? So everybody, the people in your teams, everybody has a purpose. There is no single person in the world who has the same thumbprint as you. Correct? That's there for a reason. Otherwise, God could have put us in this grand photocopy machine. Yeah? But even your identical twin brother or twin sister, if you have one, even if they look like you, is the thumbprint the same? And that teaches us everybody is meant to leave a certain mark. And unless people are feeling that they are leaving a mark, that's why when Mucha and Mwenesi talked about purpose, there's something It doesn't matter how much you pay them. Money is good and it's great and it's important, but if they're not feeling that I'm in the environment where I'm leaving a mark, just because of the way humans were designed by the Creator, it will eat them up.